Hey guys, how y'all doing today? We're back here in the back garden, which is mostly shaded throughout the day. Um, we're really pleased with this garden that we did. This is where we had our chickens over the winter. We kind of left them to clean up the place. It was bare dirt when we started this garden. And the reason that I think it's doing so good in this heat is because we get mostly shade. It only gets about 4 hours of direct sun, and the rest is filtered shade. And we're going to show you some clips of the other garden where we've lost a good bit of squash. Our tomatoes are kind of drying up and getting in bad shape. But out here we're fighting hornworms. Of course, anybody that grows tomatoes knows about hornworms. So we've probably picked about 6 so far. And it's even easier at night when you get the black light out, you can see them. So if you have a flashlight that's got a black light on it, definitely try to pick your hornworms off like that. We just are having a hard time right now because the horseflies try to tote us off when the sun starts going down. So we waited till the end of the day where we get a little shade, and we're doing it like that. So guys, if you have never seen a hornworm before, this is a hornworm. I got several of them. See about how big that one is, but they get about as big as my finger sometimes. And I got a pretty big finger. But see the little horns? Now, I don't know if they'll actually sting you because I've never gotten stung.
If it happens right now, it's going to be hilarious.
So, I just pick them off. Sometimes I'll just get a leaf and pick them off with a leaf, but...
And I do not.
Anyway, they're really good chicken feed, so... We're going to go feed them to the chickens. Who want to get...
This is Dracula and the Gray Ladies.
I think they like them. We're here in front of our plum trees. They're not really producing right now. I don't know if it's because of the heat. We hadn't got any off of this one yet. It's still kind of young, but we planted these 2 off of cuts from that tree right there. And they've done really well. We just hadn't had any plums off of these 2 yet. We've picked maybe 20 off of that one before they quit making. So I don't know if it's the heat or what, but we haven't got really any plums this year. The blueberry bushes, I didn't trim them like I should have, and they kind of got out of hand. But we picked a couple of little ice cream bucketfuls, but they've kind of quit producing too. Like I said, it's the heat. We've had days well over 100 degrees. The heat index has been up around 108. So I'm hoping that's all the problem is. This one right here used to put off, I don't know, tons of blueberries. When we first moved here, this bush was already here, and I bet we picked probably 6 gallons off of it. So, but anyway, thought you might want to see that. And then over here, these are persimmon trees, and they haven't put anything out since we've been here. But I think they're still too young to start producing fruit yet. But I planted these tomatoes under here just as an experiment, just to kind of see, you know, what they would do. And they've actually done pretty well. I've kept these actually trimmed up a little more than my other tomatoes. Probably because they're in the shade, and I like to work in the shade. So, but they're doing okay. This one hasn't put anything out. I don't know what the deal with that is, but these are doing really good. They're a great tomato. I don't remember what kind, so you'll have to forgive me for that. And we've got a cucumber that I let grow up the tree. We've already picked 2 off of that plant. And then I've got some strawberries planted in here, but they've already quit making. So, and then I've got another cucumber right here that looks like it's struggling a little bit. I think I picked 2 off of it as well. Okay guys, as you can see, this is the squash bed that I was telling you about earlier. We had to pull a bunch of it. It's just been so dry that the squash, it just didn't make it. And of course, we have tons of squash bugs in here also. So, the tomatoes are doing great. So at least we got something going for us in this bed. But it gets pretty much direct sun all day long for like almost 10, maybe 12 hours. So it just couldn't make it in this heat. At least I think that's what the problem is. Our cucumbers, look, there's squash bugs on the cucumber. At least I think that's a squash bug. But got a few peas that are still trying to make in there, so we didn't just absolutely clear out the bed yet. But as you can see, it looks pretty rough. Up here, we replanted some potatoes. We don't know if they're gonna do anything or not, but we're gonna try it. We'll see. Didn't have anything else to put in those. And of course, we're doing really good on our tomatoes, but we are getting some hornworm damage, and of course, you can see where it's, well, I can hold on to it. We're getting a lot of heat damage as well. But the tomatoes are doing good. We got a couple here that's going to be ready probably tomorrow. And we did mix peas in with all of our stuff. We did some butter beans and some beds. Seems to be doing good for the tomatoes. I guess because of the nitrogen that it puts off into the soil, seems to be helping the tomatoes out a lot. This is the first year I've actually had really good tomato production here. So come this way and I'll show you what we got going on over here. Of course, the worms have absolutely destroyed this. These are Cherokee purples. And what I've done in these is I actually got soil from the woods, and for some reason it compacted really hard. And I had to keep going in there and jobbing holes around the plant to kind of let it get some air. And eventually it finally started growing, but it's still, I don't recommend just going in the woods and digging up a bunch of soil from the woods. So this is the same thing as that one, Cherokee Purple. And all of these are, I think it's a 4th of July. I think that's what it's called, but we lost all our tags. I don't know what come out here and stole them, but we put tags in every bed and they're all gone. So, but you can see we got some butter beans planted beside them. The peas are putting out, the butter beans are not. So I don't know what the issue is there. And they keep trying to fall over. So we're probably gonna take some string and drill some holes in this. This is a culvert, an old culvert that I cut into 4 pieces, and it's working really good for a little small raised bed. But we're gonna drill some holes in here, maybe on 3 sides, and tie string down to it.
This is the 2nd year we've used those, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one just fell over really bad. I'm not even gonna try to stand it up. The more you move them, the more they tend to want to break. So I'm just gonna, when I get my string, I'm gonna pull it up then and do it. But these are doing pretty good. These are our best tomato beds. Oh, look. It's probably, yeah.
Sun-baked.
Yeah, it's sun-baked. But anyway, we got a little strawberry. I get excited about it. I love strawberries. And one more thing, we don't use any poisons, or at least we haven't this year, to control pests or weeds. We've just been putting in the hard work of picking the weeds out by hand and trying to control the bugs naturally. It hadn't been as bad as I thought it would be. So we're gonna see how that goes. But hadn't had a lot of issues with any weeds in any of the raised beds. But when I take you down there, you'll see we've had some problems with the grass. And of course, the chickens. It's nice to have chickens by tomatoes so that you don't have a long way to take your hornworms. You can just take them right over there and drop them in. All of these are all a grape variety, I believe. These 2 right here. Like I said, we don't know what happened to our tags, but you can come down here. Now this looks, a mess, but I found that you could put metal over grass and let it set for a few days, maybe let's say a week, and you'll kill all the grass and all the seeds will sprout and then die, and you'll have bare earth like right here. So I just moved this piece of metal over to here, and hopefully in another week it'll look about like this side right here. These are Cherokee Purple tomatoes. I decided to let them run wild. At least I'm gonna act like I decided to. I pretty much just got lazy. But I do like to see how they do wild. Just to let them run wild and do whatever, a tomato does. Hadn't had any weed problems here except for just a few since I hadn't weeded. Actually, I don't think I pulled any weeds out of this bed at all.
I haven't.
Yeah. You see there's some here. We got some, I guess that's pokeweed, some grass.
Threw it right on my foot.
And we have got some blossom end rot in some of these as well. But I'm pretty sure that's mainly because they're close to the ground. We'll see how it works out. And of course, got some major hornworm damage. Speaking of the double. Is there another one?
That one is huge. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Dusty's gonna stick you.
I ain't never been stuck.
That'll make a good video though.
Okay, we can't just be pulling worms on the video all day.
I see another one from way over here.
Wow. Anyway, I'm gonna go feed these to the chickens, but we'll be right back to look at that part. Okay, I dumped the first handful, and this is how much we picked again. So, yeah, we've got a problem. But
leave us a comment if you're having the same thing. If yours are bigger, if you've got more.
These
what are
actually
you doing?
ain't so bad. We've had a lot bigger ones. But anyway, you want to spread the love around to your chickens. So we're going to feed these chickens. Well, they ate some of them. All right, this is our other little strip. Normally I would plant this whole thing, but things got away from me this year. Didn't have much time when I got home from work. And anyway, even though this is probably the year that we should have grown way more than we ever have, we didn't. So. But we got peas that are still making. There was a squash plant right here. We had to pull it. I mean, it was pretty much devastated. Still got one plant here. It's got one little zucchini on it, but I don't know if it's gonna make it or not. All of these leaves that you see dead right here, they were all standing up 2 days ago. So, few volunteer corns. And another squash plant that needs to be pulled up probably. But our peas are doing great. For as little as we planted, we've probably got what do you say, about 2-3 gallons of peas so far. And all of these right here, tomatoes, I believe, are also 4th of July tomatoes, except for those grape tomatoes down there. Like I said, all the peas are doing good. The tomatoes are doing kind of okay. This one's looking rough. But the real prize in this part of the garden is my goldenrod farm I got going on right here. See, it doesn't take much to have a goldenrod farm if you just, don't do anything. You can have one just like I have right here. So, if you don't know what goldenrod is, just get on Google and look it up. It's really good for you. But I'm not giving any advice on, foraging for wild edibles or anything like that. So, anyway, I'm not an expert. Thank you for checking out our video, and y'all have a nice day. Like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.